Are you looking to unlock the secrets to success and find inner peace at the same time? In this video, we'll explore the little-known habits of highly successful people that are inspired by the principles of Buddhism. Lesson 1. Prioritize important tasks. The nature of the mind is emphasized heavily in Buddhism. It's common to compare the mind to a restless monkey that is prone to becoming sidetracked and bouncing from one idea to another. This shows up in our daily lives as multitasking, which is attempting to manage too many things at once and failing to give any of them the time or attention they require. Although multitasking may seem effective at first, research have shown that it really decreases productivity, raises stress, and causes mistakes. Like seasoned meditators, highly successful people recognize the value of focus. Their ability to concentrate on a single task at a time and give it their whole attention enables them to give their finest work. This is consistent with the cultivation of deep concentration, or samadhi, a Buddhist practice that leads to clarity and efficacy in all that one does. You may do more work in less time and produce better work when you give a single task your whole concentration. Not everything that is urgent is important. We frequently find ourselves getting sucked into answering emails, calls, or small chores that feel urgent at the time but don't really advance our long-term objectives. It takes deliberate effort to resist the allure of bustle when using this method. This is what is known as right mindfulness in Buddhism, where we constantly return our attention to the important and meaningful things in life instead of letting ourselves get carried away with pointless activities or diversions. Although it's not always simple, with practice, this comes naturally. Setting critical chores as a priority also involves learning to turn down requests that do not further your goals. The idea of renunciation is frequently explored in Buddhism. It is not a strategy for rejecting happiness or prosperity, but rather for organizing our life to make room for the things that really count. In the modern sense, renunciation refers to giving up pointless obligations, diversions, or pursuits that do not further our objectives. Choice is a trait of successful people. They have no problem turning down trivial assignments, even if doing so temporarily disappoints other people. They treat their time and energy with respect, realizing that they are limited resources. One of the most important characteristics of success is decisiveness, which has strong ties to the Buddhist practices of intention setting and mindfulness. Making decisions is made simpler when your values and objectives are clear because you have a compass to guide you. Those that are successful are adept at designing spaces that encourage focus. Determine whatever distractions are present in your area and take action to reduce them, whether it's your phone, loud surroundings, or the desire to multitask. Disable notifications, schedule specific times to check your emails, and arrange your workstation so that you can concentrate intently. Allocate specific time slots for your critical responsibilities. Make a commitment to focusing solely on one task during these blocks of time. Time blocking is a strategy that is in line with the Buddhist practice of mindful attention, which involves giving one object your whole attention at a time. By blocking out time to work undisturbed, you make the time and space necessary to focus on critical tasks. Spend some time at the conclusion of each day or week evaluating how effectively you were able to concentrate on your most critical responsibilities. Have you let yourself become sidetracked? Did you finish the most important tasks? A fundamental component of Buddhist practice is regular reflection, which enables you to make adjustments and draw lessons from your experiences. Long-term alignment with your values and objectives is facilitated by it. The effects are significant when you continually concentrate on the most crucial jobs. You gain momentum and move closer to your objectives over time. You gain proficiency in your work and a greater sense of fulfillment from your achievements. What's more, you lead a life that is consistent with your actual purpose and values. Achieving big things is not the only thing that defines success. It also involves doing so with goal, purpose, and mindfulness. Prioritize the vital chores first, and you'll discover that success comes easily to you in both your inner and outer worlds. Lesson 2. Look for solutions that are beneficial to all. Two of the main principles of Buddhism are interconnectedness and compassion. The realization that all beings are interconnected and that our actions have an impact far beyond our immediate surroundings is emphasized in the teachings of the Buddha. This essential understanding of interconnectedness pushes us to go beyond our own interests and work for solutions that are advantageous to all parties. When successful people have this perspective, they don't simply concentrate on their personal success. They also take into account the welfare of the larger community and other people. Finding solutions that work for everyone is a practice that stems from the Buddhist virtue of compassion. Compassion is an active desire to lessen the suffering of all beings, not just the emotion of pity for others. Success in life, whether in work or personal relationships, is frequently determined by our ability to establish win-win situations. We come up with solutions that uplift everyone, not just ourselves, when we act with compassion and mindfulness. In Buddhism, the idea of indrasnet, a huge cosmic web in which every creature is a jewel that reflects the light of every other jewel, is frequently used to illustrate how intertwined all beings are. This represents the way that everything we do affects not just ourselves, but also those around us. We cause discord in this interwoven web when we behave selfishly and just think about how we might benefit. However, we contribute to a peaceful, well-balanced world when we act with others' best interests in mind. Those that are successful and follow this habit recognize that shared benefit, empathy, and collaboration are the foundations of long-term success. You make a positive contribution to the well-being of the group when you search for solutions that benefit everyone. This strategy fosters relationships, increases trust, and produces long-term success for all parties. Our thoughts have created everything that we are. The world is shaped by our goals, thoughts, and deeds. By developing the mentality that seeks out win-win solutions, we have a positive impact on other people's lives, in addition to influencing our own. Compassionate leadership is one of the most outstanding examples of creating solutions that work for everyone. Successful leaders in the business or workplace don't only think about how to further their own careers or maximize profits. They search for methods to inspire their group, establish a supportive atmosphere, and make sure that each person feels appreciated. Buddhism teaches us that real power does not come from dominating people, but rather from serving them. Understanding that people are more productive, creative, and devoted when they feel supported and valued, compassionate leaders work to empower their staff members. This idea is similar to the right intention principle of Buddhism, which exhorts us to act with kindness, compassion, and moral consideration for other people. When a leader emphasizes win-win solutions, cooperation is encouraged as opposed to rivalry. A caring leader cultivates a culture where success is shared rather than one in which individuals feel they must compete for few resources or recognition. Long-term success is the result of this type of leadership because it establishes a foundation of mutual respect, loyalty, and trust. Finding solutions that work for everyone is a perspective that can be used in everyday life, not just in leadership positions or work environments. Think of a dispute that exists in your personal connections, be they with a partner, family, or friends. We frequently approach arguments with the intention of winning or establishing our position. The dynamic can be changed from one of competition to cooperation, though, if we take a step back and consider how we can settle the conflict in a way that is advantageous to both sides. The Buddhist concept of loving kindness instructs us to show compassion to all living beings, no matter what. By putting this idea into practice in our daily encounters, we are inspired to seek out solutions that promote peace. For instance, rather than imposing your will on a buddy when you two can't agree on how to spend time together, you should listen to their needs and work out a solution that works for both of you. In addition to fostering stronger bonds between people, this activity increases our sense of interconnectedness. Seeking solutions that are mutually beneficial has a significant long-term effect. You not only create stronger bonds with others, but you also cultivate an atmosphere of friendliness and trust. People who know you sincerely care about their well-being are more likely to work with you, encourage you, and cheer you on in both the professional and personal realms. Solving problems that work for everyone is not always simple. It can be challenging to realize how we might create win-win situations when faced with impediments, whether they be deeply ingrained habits, misconceptions, or conflicting interests. But Buddhism teaches us the need of endurance and patience. Like the journey to enlightenment, the path to success demands work, introspection, and a willingness to change. Practice mindfulness when presented with a challenge, as opposed to giving up or adopting a self-centered attitude. Step back and examine the circumstances objectively and compassionately. By treating problems in this way, you not only come up with imaginative and caring solutions, but you also develop your spiritual practice. Finding solutions that work for everyone is a habit that leads to a more purposeful, satisfying existence, rather than merely being a success tool. The compassion precept of Buddhism tells us that our deeds affect everyone in our immediate vicinity. We can achieve meaningful and sustained success by developing the habit of looking for solutions that benefit everyone, thereby aligning ourselves with the natural flow of interconnection. This practice, which is firmly based in mindfulness and compassion, enables us to promote cooperation, strengthen our bonds with others, and improve everyone's quality of life. By doing this, we find inner serenity and fulfillment in addition to success on the outside. Lesson 3. Exercise initiative and take charge. The idea of self-responsibility is among Buddhism's most inspiring teachings. The Buddha taught that we are all capable of creating the reality we want. Proactive behavior entails not waiting for external factors to direct your course of action. Rather, you take the initiative to make the things that you desire. Buddhism tells us that the mind is like a garden, and that we can cultivate prosperity and tranquility if we sow the seeds of mindfulness, discipline, and compassion. But if we do nothing but allow the weeds of fear, wrath, or laziness to grow, eventually they will overwhelm us. People that achieve great success are aware that they are the designers of their own lives. They don't wait for opportunities to present themselves or place the blame on outside factors. Every day, they take proactive measures to create the world they want. Accept accountability for your feelings, ideas, and deeds. Be proactive in responding to life's issues rather than passively. Consider this: what can I do today to get closer to my objectives? This could entail learning new skills, contacting mentors, or making choices consistent with your goals. Choosing behaviors that are constructive, purposeful, and in line with your higher self is the essence of right action in Buddhism. Recall that waiting for ideal circumstances simply makes success take longer. Take immediate action to take charge of your future. Lesson 4. Specify your objective clearly. Buddhism places a strong focus on choosing a purposeful and direct path for oneself. This is demonstrated by the idea of right view, which is the conviction that our decisions and thoughts have predetermined consequences. Having a clear objective, or a guiding light that keeps you focused and motivated, is vital to success in life. The Buddha used to liken the mind to a roaming monkey that gets readily sidetracked by flimsy feelings and impulses. Our brains are readily distracted when we lack a clear aim or purpose, pursuing fleeting pleasures or becoming mired in unimportant issues. Those that are extremely successful avoid this by setting focused, well-defined goals for themselves to work toward. According to Buddhism, choosing a goal is more than just declaring your desire for achievement. It's also about making an intention that is consistent with your higher ideals and wisdom. Your objectives should support both your spiritual development and your financial success. When success is driven by moral values and a clear mission, it has greater meaning. Your route will be a lot easier to follow when your goals are precise, well-defined, and based in purpose. Like a compass, a well-defined aim keeps you on course, even in the face of doubt or difficulties. Lesson 5. Pay attention before you talk. Oftentimes, listening is a neglected talent. However, listening is regarded as a crucial aspect of knowledge and compassion in Buddhism. The Buddha himself was renowned for having a keen sense of inner listening, both to his followers and to himself. Successful people know how important it is to listen intently before speaking, especially those who cultivate solid relationships. The need of speaking attentively and purposefully, as well as the power of words, are stressed in Buddhist teachings on right speech. But we have to listen before we can communicate intelligently. Understanding others' needs, feelings, and viewpoints comes from paying close attention to what they have to say. Empathy is nurtured, and more compassionate and efficient communication follows. It's important to listen to ourselves as well. Buddhism's primary practice of meditation teaches us to pay attention to the inner workings of our own brains. We become more aware of our own patterns and improve our ability to respond when we listen to our ideas, feelings, and emotions without passing judgment. People that are successful listen to comprehend, not to respond. They understand that effective communication starts with listening, and that by doing so, they may develop trust, obtain new perspectives, and improve their decision-making. Throughout the day, engage in careful listening. Give the other person's words your complete attention before answering. Avoid the temptation to jump in or start talking before the other person is done in meetings, chats, or even informal discussions. This has a connection to mindfulness in Buddhism, which is the discipline of being totally present in each moment. In-depth listening makes room for comprehension and connection, which improves relationships and communication. Lesson 6. Look for yourself and keep getting better. Buddhism uses the concepts of right livelihood and right effort to emphasize the value of ongoing self-improvement and self-care. Prominent individuals comprehend that achieving success involves more than simply tangible achievements. It also involves preserving a harmonious equilibrium among the mind, body, and soul. Our achievement is ephemeral if we disregard our emotional, spiritual, or bodily well-being. According to Buddhist philosophy, self-care is about preserving equilibrium rather than indulging. One of the main tenets of Buddhism is the middle way, which promotes a life in balance that stays away from extremes and is neither overly luxurious nor excessively austere. This equilibrium facilitates long-term development and welfare. Achievement is a process rather than an end goal. People who are really successful are lifelong learners, self-improvers, and growers. This is consistent with the Buddhist idea of right effort, which is the ongoing development of virtues and the renunciation of vices. It is important that you remember to look after yourself while pursuing success. This is taking care of your mental and spiritual well-being via meaningful connections, your physical health through exercise and a healthy diet, and your spiritual health through mindfulness or meditation. Never stop trying to get better, not because you're unhappy, but because you want to be the best version of yourself. Recall that success is a lifelong process of development and learning rather than a singular accomplishment. Buddhism's teachings provide deep insights into what it takes to be truly successful. These 6 behaviors, listening before speaking, taking care of oneself, taking charge and being proactive, finding solutions that benefit everyone, finding the most important tasks first, having a clear goal in sight, and taking care of oneself, are not only tactics for external success, but also for interior joy. Buddhism sees success as the result of developing the heart and mind. It involves being compassionate toward ourselves and others, living in the present, and coordinating our actions with our underlying beliefs. We get both exterior success and inner joy and serenity when we adopt these behaviors into our life. As you proceed on your path, keep these lessons in mind. Consider how you may incorporate these practices into your everyday life to lead a purposeful, compassionate, and mindful life in addition to achieving success. Success is not only about what you accomplish, but also about how you get there. And Buddhism provides a route that is both fruitful and efficient.